Jeff, welcome back to the show. I hope you enjoyed your vacation.
Yeah, thank you. I was in Florida for a month and
Spring training, spring training.
spring training. I didn't catch COVID. I only got a few dirty looks in Publix for wearing a mask, but it was a good month. And I do not have a bugaboo about being on the show. And I'm using that word properly as opposed to Congressman David Trone, who may have lost his chances for the Senate by using an alternative when he meant to use the word bugaboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of white people in front of microphones doing and saying something stupid.
Yeah.
I have too.
In other words, welcome to the final season of
this podcast. Oh, there we go. I was going to tell you.
I'm preemptively canceling myself. So
it makes me think of something I was going to say earlier. I think it's a quote by Abraham Lincoln that any bust can be a bang bust if you're brave enough, I think is what he said. So put that one in your pocket.
Was that the type of scoring he was referring to when he said
that's it? Yeah.
Beats any performance in a theater. I've always said that.
Lauren Boebert would disagree.
Yeah, that's right.
You mean her date would disagree.
Speaking of beating any performance in a theater, one thing I did, Jeff, I wanted to welcome you back, of course. Some of you who've listened to my show know Jeff has a podcast of his own. It's called National League Town, but you temporarily rebranded it, I noticed.
I did, because it was just me and my co-host wasn't there in Florida. So it was just me talking about spring training with the Mets, a topic that has nothing to do. There's very little overlap, I would imagine, between the Tom Myers versus the rest of the world audience and the National League Town audience. But I did have a month in Florida, and it's called Grapefruit League Town, and it's under the banner National League Town. It really makes sense.
So I tell you what, I mean, I enjoyed the episodes. I happened to pull a couple clips from a couple of previous episodes. And this clip, ladies and gentlemen, is our Jeff Hyson Unleashed. Let's take a listen to this.
Oh, yeah. And finally, I note the comments today by Andy Martino of SNY. He posted on social, excited for spring breakout game today featuring players everyone will love and then will reject in favor of JD Martinez. Hey, Martino, stop being a dick. I know that all of the Mets beat reporters think that the fans are stupid. Don't talk down to us. I respect Andy Martino's knowledge, but don't talk down to us. We know better than that. That was an obnoxious statement.
And that was Jeff Hyson using a scripted four-letter word. Oh, this is...
I could feel the heat on that one.
So baseball is what does it for you, huh?
That's it, man. That was low and a little outside. I felt the heat.
See, here's the thing, Jeff. If you were an Orioles fan, this wouldn't be an issue because whenever we hear criticism about the team, even when they do well, it's just like, well, yeah, okay.
Good point. Yeah.
I think some reporters act high and mighty, and they do know a lot more than we do because of their access, but don't be patronizing. And that's what Andy Martino was in that instance. And that's why I let loose. That's why you heard that four-letter word.
Called him to task. There you go. Get that guy in line, Jeff.
That's right.
Man, that's bluer than I think I've heard you in over a decade on stage, Jeff.
Yeah, that won't happen on stage.
I will say you did use that word incorrectly. It's patronizing. It's patronizing. Basically, that just means when one shows a feeling of superiority over someone else, in case you didn't know that.
Thank you for explaining that to us.
Like one straight cisgendered white man mansplaining something to another straight cisgendered white man. Gina, Valerie, am I doing this correctly? Am I doing this the 2024 way?
I mean,
You're doing a great job.
Nice.
Mayor Webster just added another word, Tom splaining. I think that's
frankly, Val and I don't exactly know how to do it correctly, so we don't know.
Well, this
We just can appreciate your good work.
Right.
this is my favorite of the two clips that I'm playing right here from Grapefruit League Town. This is from, I believe, the most recent Grapefruit League Town episode, the one before you came back to Maryland. Let's take a listen to this.
As for Yankees hats, we've talked about Yankees jerseys. I didn't see any jerseys today. It was a little too hot, but I saw a whole family wearing Yankees hats. They decided to leave their house and go to the game. Doesn't involve the Yankees and wear Yankees hats. Maybe they saw New York and thought it was the Yankees. That's possible. They're Yankees fans. They could have been confused.
I love how living in Maryland all these years, like you've really learned our way of giving shade to Yankees fans.
That's right.
That's easy. That comes with the territory when you're a Mets fan. That's one thing we have in common with Orioles fans, and basically fans of any other team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Those Yankees uniforms, are they still cotton? Are they still cotton?
It's a breathable fabric.
It's a breathable fabric, yeah.
But it's
what could go wrong?
my point was all these at every game I went to in spring training, every spring training Mets game I went to, there'd be some guy wearing a Yankees jersey. And I don't understand it. Your team's not playing.
I wanted to get that clip on just to combat Joshua Postel's Yankees remark from the last episode. You know, like I love Josh. He's welcome back on the show anytime. But it's just it's you bring up the Yankees on a Maryland centric podcast with
Don't do that.
a regular Mets panelist.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
that's right. Well, thank you for doing that, Tom.